Hello, hello, Celia Faye Meisel here, and welcome to today's live stream where I'm going to be talking about where to invest your money when scaling to seven figures and beyond. And you're probably thinking, she's going to give me some strategies, she's going to give me some tactics. I am going to give you some deep wisdom that I have learned and gathered in working from multi six, seven, and eight figure businesses and seeing the mistakes, the costly mistakes that business owners make on that way to creating their sustainable seven figure business and beyond. And I'm going to show you what needs to be happen differently so that you can really have a strong foundation inside of your company and not make these mistakes. And the reason this message is so incredibly important for you is because you actually run your company and you're surrounded with marketing and sales messages constantly. And what happens when you get into those new levels of success is that you're in a territory that you've never been in before. You've never done this before. Unless you have a past experience where you've had seven and eight and nine figure companies, that's a whole different ballgame. But I will tell you that I do have clients that have been very successful in other industries and grown incredible businesses. And all of the things that they did in that business didn't always translate into the online coaching and training space. And they hire experts like myself to help them really get clear and fix their sales and marketing gaps and dial in their sales so that they can achieve those levels of success inside of their coaching business. So you are probably in new territory, whether you're at that high multi six or seven figure business, and you've never done it before, or you have hit some new roadblocks that you've never experienced before, and you're feeling the wobble of, what do I do now with all of the market changes and all of the shifts that have happened with our buyers and with marketing and everything in the last 3 years? We're in a new space. So when it comes to investing in your business, making wise, sound choices to help you level up, sustain, and grow with simplicity and joy and ease is the number one priority. In case we haven't met before, I am Celia Faye Meisel, and I am a sales growth consultant, top sales growth consultant. My clients have sold well over $12 million in working with me in high-end program sales, and I work with high multi-six and seven-figure business owners to help them level up their sales using my proprietary system called the MORE Method. And inside of this conversation, I might be sharing a little bit about the MORE Method with you. If you want to get my free 6-minute training, you can head over to moremethod.com/3-things. And I share with you 3 different ways that you can increase your close rate to 70 to 90% without more ad spend. And I show you exact strategies and tactics I use with my high paying clients to help them get incredible results from their sales, from their marketing efforts without draining money and leaking money on ads. So, the first mistake that you're going to make is putting money in the wrong places. Putting money in the wrong places. So, what I see time and time again is business owners, especially the ones that are stuck around 200K to 500K, is they're constantly making the same hiring choices over and over again. And look, it's not your fault. You don't know what you don't know, and you can't see your patterns. So you need an outside set of eyes to come in and show you and shine a light on your business. And the thing is that those contractors and those agencies that you think are going to like be the next great thing for your business, they're going to sell you. Like, their job is to sell you on their thing and tell you that their thing is the best. And then what ends up happening is you end up disappointed, another 90 days lost, another 6 months, heaven forbid, lost, where you've invested in an agency or a provider that did not perform. Okay. So what happens is you make the same choice over and over again by putting your money in the wrong places with the wrong people. So maybe, yes, you need to invest in marketing, put money in marketing. But are you making the right decision with the marketing that you're hiring, with that hire, with that consultant, with that provider? How is your vetting process? How are you making that decision to bring them on and to know whether or not they're the right person? Because here's the thing, is that when it comes to this world that we live in today and that we work in of high specialization, assuming that your marketing expert who can do your Google ads is going to be able to do your Facebook ads is an assumption, right? And then you get them on, or they're like, oh yeah, maybe I know Google's really my thing. I know a little bit about Facebook ads, and sure, I can help you with that, because they want to get the deal. And the next thing you know, like, they're not helping you and they're not leveling themselves up. And this is the thing, is you have to hold the standard that when you're bringing people into your company, that whether if they say they're going to do something, that you hold them accountable that they're going to do it. And you want to make sure that they're constantly leveling up, because I'm giving a lot of marketing examples because this is where I see the clients losing the most money and the most time, and is with the marketing hires and bad marketing and marketing not working. And I was on a call with a woman a couple of weeks ago, and she stayed with a company 6 or 9 months too long. Look, you're going to know within 30 days whether that hire is the right thing or not. Now, if they're going to say, oh, we need 3 months, we need 6 months, we need 9 months, you have to say, well, we have to have some KPIs in place. We have to have some things in place that we can see the needle is moving forward in the next 30 days. Otherwise, I'm not committing to a 3 month, 6 month, 9 month contract with you. So greater discernment. You can tell I'm super fired up and passionate about this because I see so much money being lost. And this is the thing, is the money that you're losing with that provider that's bad, that's not a fit, that you're recreating the same scenario over and over again. Not only are you losing that cash that you're putting into their company, but what's more precious is that you're losing your own precious time spinning your wheels on something that's not working. You are losing opportunity that you could be spending on getting things that are working with providers that do work and strategies that do work, and the opportunity cost that's lost for your prospects that don't get to connect with you because you're over here focusing in the wrong area where there's no momentum and there's no energy. And I totally believe in energy, in the reality that when something is not working and something is not moving, continuing to go in that direction is not going to create the result. That doesn't always mean that you have to fire or let somebody go in order to make it work, but you need to know how to steer that ship as the visionary, as the leader of your company. You have to be able to direct and get that thing turned around. So if you are in a situation now where you've been spending money and spinning wheels 90 days, 60 days, 30 days even, with a marketing support and provider that's not producing, and you have doubts and you have uncertainties, you have to sort that out. And that is where having people in your company with you, supporting you on the ground with you, will be a game changer for your company. So when I work with my clients, I want to give you an example of what this can look like. And I want to show you this because what I do is really unique in that not a lot of people do it. There's actually a lot of people that coach against the type of work that I do in the world. And if I were on Facebook and I were buying from everybody who was selling to me, it would be like, have a group program and one-to-many, blah, blah. And that's not for me. My clients have one-to-many models. They love it. That's not where I am. I have a boutique business. I have scalability in other ways, but I just want to say that the way that I work with my clients is I actually come into their businesses with them. And that means that I am a strategic, trusted sales partner with them and sales advisor. And the foundational level of what I do with my clients in the MORE method is addressing the sales and marketing gaps. Okay. The sales and marketing gaps that are causing your close rate to be low, that are causing you to get unqualified leads through the door, that are draining your ad spend. And a lot of times it's getting the right providers, the right butts in the seats in your team and the people that are showing up. And a lot of times there's firing that happens, and there's vetting, and there's interviews, and they're sorting it out to get the people in the right place. Now, that is for the people that their marketing isn't working. Their sales is okay, but they don't have the leads, and they're tired of being burned by hiring providers that don't produce, that don't perform. Okay. They're burned, and they want somebody who's going to come in and have their back. Because the thing is, for me, at the end of the day, all I want my clients to do is sell more. Like, I want them to have more money, I want them to have more revenue, and I want them to make more sales. And so if I sit there and watch them continue to invest in the same things over and over again, to spin their wheels, to not move forward, I'm not doing my job in helping them to increase their close rate. And so that is why the fixing the sales and marketing gaps, more sales with ease, is a foundational level of the MORE method. And it's something that I could sing and cry and praise about all day long, because I've seen the transformations that happen when the right marketing support is in place, and having that advocate for the business owner, and having that advocate and those eyes and shining the light. So the other thing is that you don't always know what to invest in to go to the next level, because once the marketing piece is in place, and let's say you have operations, now it's like looking at your sales team and your sales process and how you're hiring. And there's always nuances and levels up to go that you're not going to get from a group program. I have clients that are in very high level masterminds, and they get a lot from those masterminds. However, those mastermind coaches and gurus aren't inside of their businesses with them. And there's a totally different frame that happens. There's a totally different experience that happens when somebody is inside of your company with you, looking at the whole landscape and shining the light on, here's the gap, and here's the gap, and here's the gap, and here's the gap. And it's one thing to identify the gap. It's a whole other thing to fill it. And then it's a next level thing to keep it filled, to solve it for good. Because this is what is happening. It's like, if you're a coach, when you have a client that comes in and they have all these habits and patterns of self-sabotage and whatever, whether it's expressing their voice or relationships or branding, visibility, the list goes on and on. You see these clients, and they come in and they have these patterns and these ways of behavior and these ways of being that are working against them, and you help them to unravel those and create new habits and new patterns. And it's when it's something that somebody's been doing for years and years and years, a 90-day program is going to shine the light and expose the gaps, but that's not necessarily going to take them from A to Z and get them that full transformation. And so with that, I actually help my clients improve their LTV, their lifetime value of their customers, by showing them how they can create more of a customer journey and a transformational experience, and increase back-end sales in their company. So that's actually a side note, because if you are only focused on new front-end offers and you're not thinking about the back end and the continuation, what's going to happen is you're always going to be chasing those front-end leads and chasing new people, and not building that MRR, that monthly recurring revenue, and moving people into higher levels of support with you and continued ongoing support. So that is just a side note there, that is a gap in your company, that if you're not investing in developing the LTV and creating MRR, I'm giving you all the hooks here, then you're missing out on money. And maybe nobody's ever told that to you before. Maybe nobody's ever seen that. But I come into my clients' businesses and I actually look at all the opportunity that is there and see where they're leaving money on the table. And that is actually the tagline for the MORE method, is don't leave any money on the table. And you could be leaving money on the table in so many different ways. So the other thing is, whether you are doing your own sales call still, if you're a founder-led salesperson, or you start to bring on that sales team, what'll happen is there's always going to be gaps in sales performance and sales training. and sales performance and sales training, and having that reflection back to you of like what to do and what to improve. Like, is anybody listening to your calls? Is anybody listening to your sales reps calls? Are you training and managing your sales rep? Do you have a sales trainer? Who's holding them accountable? Because again, when you're always going to these big group programs where you're getting great information and there's a lot of resources and all of that, but if it's then left for you to implement on your own and figure out on your own, that is where the money can be lost, especially if the thing that your sales manager needs isn't a zone of genius of yours. It's not a strength of yours. So when I go into my clients' businesses, I'm looking at the full landscape and I'm shining light on the gap. And then we start to address the gap and fill the gap, and then long term keep it filled. And providing that long-term transformational support is of the highest integrity that I can deliver. And I am so grateful that I got out of the habit of doing the, 90-day here and there and in and out. And here's the quick fix, here's the Band-Aid. And I've helped my clients to get out of that too, where it's like, okay, here's the fix, now you're on your own. Because ultimately, it's high integrity and a high level of support to offer continuation, offer ongoing coaching, offer ongoing mentorship, whatever it is that they need to keep the journey going, because there's always going to be new questions. There's always going to be new levels. There's always going to be new things that are going to open up for people. And here's the thing is, you might need a culture change, and culture change in your business, whether it's with your client culture or if it's with your sales culture change doesn't happen overnight. It must be practiced and reviewed ongoing. So that is something to look at, is investing in your long-term culture change. So if what I have shared today resonated, definitely head to moremethod.com/3things. From there, you actually have the ability to book in a strategy call, a sales growth strategy call with me. That's the only way that you can get to that link, is through watching that quick 6 to 9 minute training. It's high value. You're going to get some great ideas. And if you want to talk, you can schedule a conversation with me. But I really, really want to reemphasize the power of putting money into the gaps. And sometimes that's going to look like you investing, actually all the time, it's going to look like you investing in a different way than you have before, especially if you've been chasing the marketing shiny objects, especially if you keep rehiring the same situation and same contractor over and over again, especially if you are, you have sales team, or there's issues with your sales process, there's issues with your sales performance, that you could be closing deals, your reps could be closing more deals. Sometimes it's just as simple as having that extra set of eyes come in and reinforce what you've already been thinking and what you already know, but you just don't know how to make it happen. And one of my superpowers, I have many, but one of my superpowers is bridging the gap between ops and sales, because oftentimes there's a huge disconnect between ops and sales. And I actually help to bridge the gap between the two and marketing, so that things are flowing much more easily and no opportunities are getting lost. I can't believe, I'm going to do a video on your CRM. Is it a source of abundance or is it a source of loss? Because a lot of people's CRM is where a lot of money is left on the table, because they don't know how to operate it and they don't know how to instruct their team to as well. So that's a whole other thing. Let me know in the comments if that's something that you would be interested in. So that is my reflection for you today. Where to invest in the gaps. Start looking at things differently. Bring people into your business that will actually come into your company with you and be an extra set of eyes and advocate for you. Okay, a lot of these agencies, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. They're going to give you a Slack channel. You're going to get to come on, but they're going to do what they do, and they're going to take your money. And then you're not going to always have that feedback loop. They're going to hire, usually very underqualified, low qualified, undersupervised people to come in, especially social media agencies. I've seen this time and time again. You're going to get people who they talk a big game about ads. but they don't perform. They don't know how to customize for your company. So you have to vet. And you don't need to settle, you all. If you're settling for anything with your marketing right now, reach out and let's talk, because I can help you turn things around. I have a deep, deep, deep network of connections, of colleagues that you can start to have conversations and start to explore what your options are, so you can start to do things differently and recalibrate. If you have a sales team and they're not performing, you're not performing at the level that you could in your sales, and your close rate is down, reach out. Let's talk. These are all things that I can support you with, and you don't have to sit there spinning your wheels. You don't have to go another month, another week, another year of not knowing what your sales and marketing KPIs are, or not having the systems and the tools in place to get to that next place, because you're just constantly on that revenue roller coaster. You're constantly spinning your wheels. Like, I just know that it does not have to be that way, but you have to make a choice that you're going to invest differently, that you are going to show up differently, and you're going to behave and perform differently as the visionary CEO. Because I'm telling you that, like, everything that you seek and all the abundance and all the wealth and all the success, it's totally in your field, but you're not open to it. You've got patterns, you've got thoughts, you've got behaviors. And I'm not talking about mindset work. I'm literally saying, like, we're going to steer the ship in a different way. And you have to be open to those uncomfortable conversations, because most people don't want that. Most people don't want the uncomfortable conversation. Most people don't want the light shined on their gaps. Most people don't want that. But my people are different. My people want that. They want that person who's going to call them out. They want that person who's going to be honest with them from a clean space. They want that person who's going to warn them about that hire that they're about to make, and have them come in with more clarity. My clients want that. They want that, and they're craving it, and they seek that. One of my clients, when we first started working together, she said, I've been praying for you. I have been praying for you to come in. And we have created so much amazing things together, so many amazing things. And we're just at the start of a whole new phase and a whole new chapter in her business. And part of my role as a consultant is staying with my clients through all parts of it. I'm not just there for, like, the yay 100K month, yay 200K month, let's go. I'm there for the holy crap, our no-show rate is at this percent. How do we fix it? Oh my gosh, I just blew that sale. Like, I am in there with my clients in the most difficult parts of their business and with them during the most difficult times. And if you can find people that have your back like that and will look out for you, you never want them to leave your business. You never want them to leave your side, because that is an asset that is few and far between. And so those are the people that I'm looking for to support, to consult, and to guide. And if that resonates with you, reach out. All right, until next time, this is Celia Faye Meisel, sales growth consultant, host of the More Influence and Impact podcast and show that goes live every Tuesday and Thursday on all your live stream platforms and on your podcast platforms. Till next time, I will see you, and make sure you head over to moremethod.com/3-things. Bye.